Shandon Baptist Church exists to make, mature, and multiply disciples of Jesus Christ one life at a time in the Midlands and beyond.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Shandon Plus podcast. And this is the College Takeover. This is our last in our 4-part series of the College Takeover, and we are so glad you're here. I, again, am joined with my friend Steve Turner. Hey, Steve.
Good afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are.
Over the last 3 weeks, we've talked about the local church, about college culture, and we've even heard from students themselves about navigating college life. But today, we are closing out this series with a conversation that I think a lot of you have been waiting for, because this one is for you parents. It is for the parents of college students.
Yes, such an important job, such a changing job, and at some point, such a maddening job.
That is well said. It is so true. And both of us have been parents of college students. I am still a parent of college student, and I have one to be a college student. And so I want to learn as well as share this episode, because there's always so much to learn. A college student, parenting them is its whole thing, because the job hasn't ended. It's just changed, and no one has really prepared you for it. So it's going to be a good conversation. I'm really excited, Steve. Okay, so here's the first thing that I want to ask you. What do parents most need to understand about this new role that they're stepping into as their college student goes to college?
I think the biggest one, take a deep breath, parents. You're not in control.
Woo!
That's a hard one, because it's just so difficult to release your student, especially if you don't think they're prepared. And hey, by the way, they're not. I mean, if you talk to any psychologist today, they're going to tell you this. Your student is an emerging adult, but they're really not truly adult, especially if you take the whole brain chemistry, prefrontal cortex.
Right.
Most psychologists say, and this is crazy, that most girls fully formed prefrontal cortex at 24 to 25. Most guys, if you've got a son, let's pray. Most sons, 28 to 29.
That's crazy, because that's moved since when I was in my 20s. That's moved later.
Prolonged adolescence equals delayed adulthood.
Wow.
And part of that is because, I'm sorry, parents, I'm one, I did it too. We overprotected our kids. Instead of developing them, we too tightly managed.
What would you have done differently? I mean, now that you know what you know, and I mean, not to get into the weeds of specific stories, but as you look back, if you had a do-over?
I think I would have given my high school students more freedom, less management, more coaching.
That's good.
Because I think as parents, it's in our nature to protect.
We had to when they were babies.
Yes.
And 2 and 3. And so we're growing just like they are, because it's not static. It is a moving parenting gig.
But especially with the advent of social media.
Exactly.
The wonderfully awesome, occasionally awful smartphone. What happened is we bought into the algorithm that fear was around every corner, and so we wanted to protect our children from that. And so what happens is in many cases, we're sending collegians off ill-prepared to be adults, and yet everybody's now going to treat them that way. And so as a parent, all your worst fears just start to come to fruition in your head. And you can overreact to that Or maybe equally bad, you can just totally release with no coaching.
See, it's so hard. I think, and I talked with my counselor one time about this, is that even in high school, if you parent with locking down everything, that's one extreme. The opposite extreme is just to let them do whatever. And that's easy because you just go, they're on them. The coaching piece in the middle is this continuous tension of movement and conversations and discipline and releasing. I mean, it is hard, but that is what parenting is in order to prepare them for the next step. And here's the other thing I want to say about that, because, I mean, we could talk for hours about this, but just because you think you do everything right does not guarantee the outcome of your kids' choices. And I think that has been so key to me because I thought everything rode on the excellence of my parenting. Therefore, their behavior was a reflection of my success or failure. And once I realized that I could do everything right, they still are responsible for dealing with their own sin nature. That released me from a lot. Because I'm just doing the best I can. And we actually said this to one of our sons when we were dropping off at college. We've done all we can do. We're here, we're coaching you, but you're going to need to make many choices on your own now. And we've done the best we can do. And so we're praying for you, and we're here. But it was an interesting flip because he was 3 hours away from us, and it was different. But I think that control piece and the expectation of my perfection as a parent then equals a perfect kid is false.
Yeah. And truthfully, as I look back, I mean, a lot of my now adult children, a lot of the best lessons they learned were through non-fatal train wrecks. And would I have preferred they not go through those? Sure. But were they super valuable in the whole process of growth and sanctification? Absolutely. And that's where even as a parent, it's just like you said, there's this tension, and you've just got to learn to be okay with that tension.
Yes.
And it still means there are some boundaries that are set with consequences for breaking those boundaries. But on the other hand, there's this sense of I'm trusting the development that I've done.
Yes.
And I'm entrusting them to people who are going to be on the front lines, like Shannon College.
Exactly.
Now,
and who Shannon points them to is Jesus, and he does the work. There's a great book, and I'm going to mention this. I'm going to ask you if there's a book that parents could read that you would recommend as well. But this one is it's by Jenny Cunyon, and I don't know if we could put this in the show notes, but it's oh my goodness, the title is totally gone from my brain, but it's great about grace-based parenting. And one of the things that she said that totally flipped the script for me was it is not your hard work, but the Spirit's heart work that changes the heart of your kid. And I'm like, whoa. So the reach that I thought I had is minimal compared to the grand reach that God has into their heart. And so there's such a prayerful and trusting of Him, of your kids to Him, that is, bar none, one of the best things that I got into the practice of.
Yeah, I think parents pray more than press more.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I think you just have to trust that God's at work. I mean, that's where it can be difficult, especially when you don't see the results you're hoping for.
Yes. You have to live in the unfinished work.
Yes.
And that, I like to have my projects done. I like to have a finished product and it be really good and shiny. Parenting, you live in the unfinished work.
And I tell parents, the more you press, the more likely you are to get rebellion. Like at orientation for new students, occasionally I'll see a parent pretty much force their child to come talk to us. And I'm like, oh, please don't do that. this may not end well.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then I see other parents who have coached well, whose students are like, hey, no, tell me what you do. Tell me about your church.
Yes.
I want to get this foundation established.
That's good.
But one of the things a parent has to be somewhat okay with, I mean, here's a trend that I've seen for 30 plus years. Many, I know you don't want me to say this, parents, many college students, their first semester is a little rocky because they're going to explore. Except for some who God just, His grace, they've been developed well and they're ready. But for many, including my children, that first semester was like, oh, Lord, I'm praying once again. Please, please, Lord, I beg of you.
It's so true.
But here's what I've also found. Just pray and have conversation.
Yes. Don't be scared of the conversations.
Don't be scared. You know, hey, what was your high this week? What was your low this week? What's God teaching you about Himself, yourself? Just keep the door open.
Right.
Here's what a lot of parents do poorly. When things go south, they quit engaging.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, no, engage even more.
Yes.
You know, at Shannon College, as long as I've been a college pastor, 3 things: high expectation, high trust, unyielding love. Like you've got to keep that relationship solid.
That's so good. That's a great thing to put. I mean, they now put them on their phones, but I still use Post-it notes. So that's a great thing to put on a Post-it note. The book that I was referring to is called Mom Set Free, Find Relief from the Pressure to Get It All Right. And it is such a great book. Do you have a book for parents to pick up that would be good?
I mean, there are several. I think most parents need to read Jonathan Haidt's Anxious Generation, Meg Jay, The Defining Decade, just to really understand the culture that your children, your emerging adults are living in.
Because it's not the same that we
It's
grew
not
up
the
in.
same.
And we can't apply the same strategies or ideas of
Right.
how they're thinking based on how we thought.
Right.
It's by the grace of God that we all are standing because we were college students too. And I know that and not only as a parent, but also I was one that my parents prayed their hearts out for. And there was a lot of unfinished work for years that was happening. And I am so grateful for those prayers because I truly believe that God continues to answer the prayers that they prayed in such desperation for me. And so we've all been there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this control thing, because I think that need and desire that we have to control is huge. One of the things that I wanted to control was their church attendance when they went to college. And I thought, okay, so will I levy budget allowances based on that? I mean, I was thinking all over the place because I knew how important it was to get to church. But I also knew that by giving them a wrong motivation, it won't matter much. And so as a parent, when we realize we don't have the control we used to, because when they're at home in church, I mean, you come to church or you don't have lunch. I mean, you're just kind of a part of things, but they're in college. What are some things that you would suggest for parents to do to stay in that conversation with your student, even though you don't see them biting yet? You don't see them going yet. And you know that there's a great school, a great church here for them, Shannon College, but yet they're not taking the bait. What would you do? What would you recommend?
I think just stay in close proximity. I don't think rewards or penalties for not going to church is going to do you much good. I mean, here's the truth. Depending on the personality of the child, like if you have a compliant child, they're going to go and resent it.
Right.
If you have a child who's a little less compliant, they're going to go, you'll never know. I can fake you out. I mean, really? Okay, I'll play your game.
That was me, yeah.
And then you'll have some who'll just go, I'm going to go 180 away from what you're demanding because I can. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's that dialogue. And truthfully, it is getting them used to being in that environment. You know, one of the things I love is when parents of college students at orientation really just stand back and let their students navigate, and then they're going to have conversations later. Hey, what was that Shandon group like?
That's good.
Instead of, hey, you need to go over here. Or in some cases, believe it or not, hey, I'm going to sign up my child. Well, where is your child? They're somewhere, but I'm signing them up. You need to contact them and get them in church. And I'm like, okay, that's going to go really poorly.
And see, I think that's an easy thing for parents to think as they're learning this transition of control, is to hear all the great things that Shandon College has to offer and keep peppering it with their student. But there's a point, parents, in which you need to know that you've done enough invitation and you need to step back and let them wrestle with their own need to get there. Because that's what's going to be the thing that keeps them coming back to a community that loves them and to a Jesus who has the answers for them.
And here's the other thing that parents, it's a natural mistake. If Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God and all the other things will be added, do you believe that? Because a lot of times we as parents are telling our students to chase the 4-0, to chase this organization or that organization. No, it's going to help you with your networking or this. And I'm like, no, please seek the kingdom first. If you seek the kingdom first, those other things will fall into place.
It's amazing how that happens.
It's crazy.
It's counterintuitive.
It is counterintuitive. The other day, I'm talking to one of the people in student life, and we're talking about demographics of student organizations. And he goes, hey, I have some trivia on Shandon College. And I go, okay, I'm intrigued. He goes, do you know that Shandon College has one of the highest GPAs of any student org at the University of South Carolina?
Wow.
And I'm like, he goes, y'all have a 3.76 GPA.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, we have a bunch of smart emerging adults. But I think there's a lot of parents who go, that is the main thing. And I'm like, no.
What's crazy is that even a recruiter told our son, don't even put it on the resume, your GPA anymore. I don't know if I was shocked. And going, okay, so they don't even look at that. It's a range now. And of course, you need to stay above a 3 point whatever. But still, I think that's so interesting. We fight so hard to have it look like the success.
Exactly.
But seek first the kingdom.
Yeah, those are the words of Jesus. So I'm not going to argue with him today.
Nor will I. And we know that that is where the truth of it all lies. And it is true in my life. I mean, when I try to organize my to-do list and my goals, but I'm not seeking him first, if I reach him, great, but it's not what he wants me to be and to do. And it's not as fulfilling as when I include him or not just include him, but follow him in my life's journey. Okay, so Steve, here we are at the end of our 4-week series podcast. What is a grand invitation that you can give not only to the parents, but for the students as you will be seeing them on campus? Shandon College will be seeing them on campus.
I mean, first of all, look for us on Move-In Day.
Yay.
We will be there all over the place in our non-garnet and black shirts. We wear blue for a reason. So look for us, say hello. We'd love to invite your students to be a part of what we're doing. The first 9 days of being on campus, we're everywhere. And so you really can't miss us. It's all fun, but it's all for the purpose of building relationships. And so we want your students connected. We want your students to find their people. Most importantly, we want your students just to find the joy of following Jesus. And then say hello to us. Feel free on that first Sunday after move in. If you're in town, come join us. We'd love to see you as well as your student.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we want to partner with you parents,
exactly.
knowing that we will be praying for your students alongside of you.
Absolutely.
Like you're praying for your kids. Well, this has been fun,
It
Steve.
has.
Thanks so much for including me in this conversation here this summer. And we are excited about having Pastor Daniel and Dondi back shortly. And we just are grateful to start the semester off with a bang. So thanks for all that you do here, Steve. We just love serving. Brandon and I love serving with you and Dawn. And we're so grateful that you're here at Shandon with us.
Thanks, Amy. So glad y'all are back. And hey, it is going to be a great year this school year. So come be a part of it.